Hey everybody! Welcome back to Pure Life. If you are watching us right now, you are where you're supposed to be on Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And today, I get the co-host of Evelyn Dawson. Yay! Thank you. We get her once a month, so take it and drink it in while you can. All right. Before we get started, and we have amazing guests tonight. Like, I know I say this a lot because I have a lot of amazing guests. That's why, because this is just awesome. But I have some really amazing guests. They are really, really special. But before we get into that, I deal with my sponsors. So, Posh Women's Apparel. Classy, sophisticated, stylish. Here are some of the things that they carry. You've seen me in several of their summits. Be fly and dress like me. Hey. PoshWomen'sApparel.com. And there's some other things coming up soon. 1 second. I was told I say too much. Maybe I do. I should start saying, maybe I start putting like quarters in a jar or something every time I say And here's another thing. One person that's been a guest on the show several times, and just in case you guys didn't notice in our name, we are related, has dropped another single, and here we go. Yes. So I know you saw the name, Life Jamal. You know what? I'm gonna have to have him talk about it. We might do it on the Asian Speaks 411, but I was like, what made you tackle that one? You got the King of Pop song, hit song, rock with you, but I love that too. I love that. Yes. So, yes, we are about to introduce our guests. Everyone, thank you for joining in. Please feel free to ask questions, give comments, and all that, and you post your stuff, whether you are on YouTube or Facebook. It's one or the other, or Periscope. I do have that one too. I forgot. I love you too. I'm sorry. Um, also, I got some things that are coming. Just in case you guys are following me on social media, you might have seen a picture of me wearing some shades from Abella Eyewear. If you go through me, you get 30% off. If you go to my website, asianjamal.com, you will see on the top where it says Abella Eyewear. If you click on that link, you will get your, yeah. And we got some stuff coming too. I have a photo shoot tomorrow, and after that, we will have some more things coming. Things are getting exciting. So, okay, now that we're through all of that. Oh, and one more thing. P.U.R.E.com. So me and Evelyn both are part of Balls, and I will represent my organization. Yes, this is how I met her. This is actually how I got motivated to get started in the show in the first place. So I'm gonna rep my people. If you guys follow me on social media, you will see me repost the things that are going on, any deals they have going on, classes, courses, whatever. Pay attention, okay? I'll be showing my social media throughout the show. Now let's get into it. We're gonna get into it, okay? So you guys, today we have Anthony and Naomi Johnson. Everybody give them a warm welcome. Hey.
Hello.
Yasmin is on. Hey, Yasmin. Our boss sister. All right. I am so excited, you guys. I don't know if you can tell. I'm so excited. You guys have a very unique story. So we are definitely going to get into this. So, first of all, let's deal with the title of the show. I called it Black Innovation, Greatness in the Making. Why did I call it that? Because the story is ridiculous, first of all. This is like the power couple right here.
Yes.
The power couple. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves, but before I get into that, let me try to run through this real quick. And I say try because it's that expensive. So, let's start with Naomi. Okay? So, maybe I do say so a lot. Okay, so from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Um, being multifaceted, creative. So one thing I thought was really cool is that you're also a vocalist, like my sister. Okay, so artist and jeweler, singer, actress, and creative maker Naomi found herself to be recognized for her talents. Dude, check this out. Like, pay attention. She was the closing artist for the Dream Week San Antonio 2020 Mayor's Ball. In 2019, she starred in Woodlawn Theater's production of Dreamgirls. Ladies and gentlemen, she plays Effie. You know everybody that plays Effie can sing? I just got chills just even looking at that, okay? In 2018, Naomi was a feature in the Institute for Texan Culture's Smithsonian Institute sponsored exhibit entitled The Will to Adorn for the handmade African inspired headrest. Now, see, now this is where it gets cool, y'all. She wasn't the only one. This is where we get into the power couple. But wait. Before we get there, let's get into his background, shall we? This is why I'm excited. Okay, so Anthony Johnson. I know he say you can call him Big Ant. I have trouble with nicknames. Like people call my brother EJ. He's Elijah. That's it. He's Elijah. Um, but Anthony Big Ant Johnson. Um, from
You
the
got a
west side of Chicago.
big ant. You big ant.
Okay, I'll let Evelyn say Big Ant, and I will call him Anthony. He's
Big
from the west side of Chicago. Just in case y'all don't know, they're all crazy. No, just kidding. Um, but he
ant.
also he was also Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they both currently reside in San Antonio, Texas. So thank you, first of all, for being on the show in the first place, because y'all going through some stuff down there, right?
For having us.
Right? Okay. Moving forward. I
That.
told you I was gonna get through this quickly. Forgive me. Okay. And he spent years as a creative. His mediums are visual arts, fashion styling and design, event planning, and music management, artist development. For years, he has spent time behind the scene cultivating and creating art within the entertainment industry. In 2018, Anthony was featured. Here we go again. Here we go. In the entertainment industry. Okay. He was featured in the Institute for Texan Culture Smithsonian sponsored exhibit entitled The Will to Endure. So does this sound familiar? The Will to Endure. Let's see. I think I just said that with her, right? Okay, in his power couple. There we go. Okay. Anthony's contribution was a presentation of a small portion of his sneaker and hat collection that focused on African American street style aesthetics. In 2020, post pandemic, Anthony showcased his eye for fashion, styling, and design, paired with his wife, Naomi, during San Antonio's Dream Week, Innovate the Runway, which received outstanding reviews and numerous opportunities. Dude, like, I'm not even done yet.
Right.
Okay. Okay, understanding his creative calling, Anthony has branched out into the fashion industry by way of styling and creative directing photo shoots. His upcoming big and tall centered fashion line is one to be on the lookout for. Anthony has recently launched his new transportation business in partnership with his wife Naomi. It's Anthony's life's work to leave a legacy of creating, opportunities for greatness. So I just want to know, like, why you're so lazy. I mean, you guys just do nothing at all. I mean, what do you do in life? Clearly nothing. Oh my gosh, I got sleepy just reading it. I don't. Guys are ridiculous. Oh my goodness,
That was a lot.
Evelyn.
I mean, we try.
Oh, he says we tried.
We try.
But you're not trying hard enough.
And on that note,
Woo!
no, like seriously, people are always talking junk with me. They're like, Asia, you're always doing something. You're always working on something. You don't know how to sit still. Have you met Anthony and Naomi Johnson? That's all I gotta say. That's my new line. I'm gonna tell everybody. Have you met Anthony and Naomi? Apparently I gotta step my game up. I'm not doing enough. Uh, my goodness, Evelyn, I think I'm tired. You got it from here because I too much.
I have one question. You know that saying, those little memes they put up and say, you have one job. I just have one question. How do you all do business together? Look how laid back they are.
Right?
The,
Like
the,
they not
the,
fighting.
the simple answer to that is you have to have a friendship. And we started off as friends. As corny as that sounds, that's just as real as it gets. From the moment that we met, and our friendship was pretty much instant. And we're both Aquarius, which is already an anomaly because yeah. She's like, oh my God. But the foundation, other than God in our relationship, is that we're friends first. And it's not to say that we don't have disagreements because I am very stubborn and he is the
No.
more focused at times. I can be very squirrely because I want to do 50, 11 things at once and he reels it back in. So it
He
has.
reeled it back in.
He does, because I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to build a spaceship tomorrow. And he's like, so where are you getting the material from? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So he's the anchor for me, and for him, I liken myself to being the one that keeps him fun and
Okay.
keeps him silly because I'm more silly than he is at all times. I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna listen. I'm a person that likes to dance in the grocery store.
Me too. That
Because
is so
the grocery
fun.
stores in Texas, you cannot tell me they don't have DJs. I feel like they have DJs in the back. And it just seems like every time I come in the store, they're playing my song, and I can't help it. I'm singing, I'm dancing, and this one walks away.
No, no, you're not supposed to walk
Well,
horrible.
Is that countenance that spills over into business for us because as much of a dreamer I am, he's more calculated. But his creativity matched with that calculation is what makes him a powerhouse. So
Oh,
yeah.
she said makes him a
He's
powerhouse.
humble. He's
Lord.
humble, but I brag on him all the time.
that's wow.
Um, yeah, I don't brag about that kind of stuff. Essentially, I feel like being from Chicago, I have the mentality of I'll show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and I just go off of that. You know, I let my actions speak for itself. So,
Okay.
And I have to work to get here because once upon a time I wasn't a person that liked to talk about my accomplishments. And I still don't, even from the point of the introduction, because I'm a staunch believer in I'm not going to tell you how to respect me.
Right.
You're either going to like me or you're not. And then when I get into a conversation, and most of the time in San Antonio, someone will notice me from like outside of said conversation with the new person that I'm speaking with. Oh, Naomi, I saw you at such and such, or when are you going to do such and such? I heard about this, such and such. And that person's looking at me like, why you didn't tell me? And I'm like, I didn't have to. I'm not going to teach you how to respect me based off of my
Because
accolades.
I don't have
And that's her. And me, on the other hand, I like to kill them with, I'll let you judge me from my outward appearance until you get to talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go in a room in a jogging suit like this, and they'll all be in their suits and everything else, and they feel like they high fashion and they know this and they know that, and I'll just sit there and wait until it's my turn. And then when it's time to speak, they're all like, "Oh, oh,
Surprise.
he does know what he's talking about." Oh, so yeah,
Oh,
I'm
the
more of that
internal
type of
Papa
person.
Collar,
Mm-hmm.
huh?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, you guys are absolutely ridiculous. You work so well together, it's sickening. No, but seriously, it's like it's simply amazing. So how okay, explain to us, give us a breakdown on how it built to the point that you're at. Where did you start?
Oh.
Uh,
Okay.
the gut,
So
the
beginning.
I would say the gutter, but
Okay.
I mean, we were shooting in the gym.
You know,
Right.
different versions of the story.
So
I don't
right.
know.
Yeah. So all right. So business wise, okay.
Mhm.
Business wise, um, I always like to go out to the clubs and everything else. And yeah, I had buddies and everything that was doing club stuff.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Well, a lot of people know you. Maybe you should, try to throw a party or something." So my birthday's in January. We all know what that's like in Chicago. It's like
Yeah,
a bed of snow, right? So
yeah, we're still waiting for it to melt. Hmm.
I threw a birthday party for myself, and I
Oh, in
surprised myself.
January.
And it was a snowstorm, and
Okay.
literally I packed the club out. I packed the club
What?
out,
With a
and
snowstorm?
Mhm.
in a snowstorm, I
Wow.
packed the club out. The owners was like, "Hey, let's make some money." And it started with that, with the club promoting. And then from the club promoting, I met a lot of different DJs.
Oh,
I met DJ Tony Neal, became one of my good buddies, and he hosted like DJ retreats and everything. So they finally got me to come to one. I just took a chance, and I went out to Orlando, and then that's what started me into entertainment. I started
okay.
meeting, all these different celebrities, music, people, management, and everything else. And they started teaching me their stuff. So they was giving me free game.
Okay.
You know, I have like literally, if I lost my phone, whoever would get it would have a Rolodex full of people that they probably should have phone numbers
Oh, and where do you live again?
to.
Go ahead.
like,
What
like
kind of
seriously, like seriously, like I had Future's management and their phone numbers before Future was Future.
Oh,
Oh,
So like
I saw the
that's
future
how
before
deep it
future.
gets when it comes to that.
wow.
Um, Essentially meeting this one, and she's into poetry and she sings and
Oh,
right, and I'm like, okay, so why aren't you doing anything with this?
Mhm.
So, the first thing I did was let's get you to drink. Let's get you over to do American Idol because they were in Milwaukee,
oh,
and she
okay.
was like, no, no, no,
Well,
and she went and she practiced that Jennifer Hudson song
Ooh.
from Dreamgirls. We practice and practice. I am telling you. I'm telling you. And she got up there. She killed it. She killed it. And she got to just before they were going to pick the finalists to actually be on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and she got a sore throat.
Get out.
And yeah, because they make you go through so many rounds before you actually get
Right.
to the final.
Yeah.
And she got a sore throat, and
Same people.
she couldn't get it.
Oh,
And so I think that was the fuel to her fire to keep her motivated to keep pushing
okay.
for her singing. So, but yeah,
Gonna be my.
Wow.
What was your motivation? You
my so yeah, that was the
So
beginning for my
now Naomi solo. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna put you on the
right.
spot.
tell yours.
The beginning for your eyes.
You
That's
got
pretty good. It really like a lot of what we did in Milwaukee was it wasn't allowed to flourish as much as it could because it was very cliquey.
Mm,
And with it being such a small town, like we
yeah.
were thriving in our small spaces, but we couldn't. And I can't put a cap on what God does.
yes.
But
I know that's right.
when we went to or came to San Antonio to live, it just seemed almost immediately there was opportunities coming at our feet left and right.
Her
Excuse me, we only
and her feet.
okay. He was saying me, but everybody that knows us knows that we're each other's shadow. We don't. We're joined at the hip, and if you see us without each other, you should play the lotto. So for when I came into the scene down here, I've done poetry. I've been doing poetry about 12 years now, 12, 13 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Okay.
when I came down here, I didn't know what the scene was. I didn't know where to go for open mics and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And I had searched, searched, and searched. And then I just stumbled upon this open mic night. And I went and
Shut it down.
enjoyed myself.
Better tell it.
Shut it down.
I made my mark.
Look, all people talked about was who is that girl from Milwaukee?
So one of the poets that was a hostess there, she took me under her wing and showed me around San Antonio and the scenes and whatever. And for her, doing that for me, it allowed me to break into these spaces and just be my authentic self. And
Okay.
everything from the introductions that she made, I took the ball and ran with it.
Okay.
And so much so when we got into the museum, she was like, I've been here all my life and I've never done that. She was like,
Hmm.
you have something that's special and that's God ordained, and I'm not gonna step in front of that. I'm not going to hinder that, and that's so integral, especially in spaces as Black folks. It's really on us when we have opportunities to share. You don't want to stand in front of somebody else's destiny because of jealousy or anything of that sort. So when he says it was all me, that was my responsibility to say, you're here with me. It's me and you. And as he's done that, he's reached back for people in our circle to say, hey, there's an opportunity. I can't do it, but you can. And we've watched people have successes on many levels. Like before we moved here, we had mentees that were poets. And now they have gone on to create their own rap careers that are very, very successful in the indie world. And
What was
That was
that?
my good thing.
it's not alone. He was more of how can I put it, the coach and critique. I was more of the mother sister friend.
I ended up being their manager,
Yes, he did.
and I ended up actually outside of being their management, I actually ended up doing a lot of um,
Artist development.
artist development with them.
Mhm.
to get them to where they could actually go off onto their own and do their own thing. And so, yes, she was the mother sister friend.
I was like,
She was
it's okay, keep
right.
going, keep going. He's like, no, y'all need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just because of the strides that we made, it's a testament, and I never not give credit to where it's due because the Most High God has definitely had us in His hand, and I definitely couldn't say I would have conceived even being or even having half of the experiences I've had, especially with this one. This one is like the silent killer. He ain't killing nobody. He ain't got no cases, but I'm just saying. He's a
Oh, okay.
I didn't get caught.
I was like, I didn't see that in my research.
Don't say that. Anyway, I mean, I grew up in public housing. He's from the west side of Chicago. We two ghetto kids that, we just
Oh.
dream. And dreams don't have an expiration date. And I really want to say that because we feel, especially as Black folks and young creatives, we always feel like we have a deadline to be great.
Yep.
There is no deadline to be great. Like, I want to be Cicely Tyson. I really do. I want to act up until my arthritis say, okay, well, you can't do this aspect of acting, but you can sit down and do a dialogue. I want to be that. And it's just so important that we reiterate that.
Wow.
So speaking of management, have Big Ant, have you ever talked about managing Naomi?
He
What
does
did you start handling?
but again, I'm stubborn.
Okay, so
He's more consultant.
Anything?
okay, so here's the thing. Try that and didn't work. um, Naomi kind of likes to go off her own kilter, so she, runs off and does her own thing, and so she really doesn't need management just
Okay.
yet. She's not ready for that,
Okay.
and that's something that I learned also. Um, being under the mentors that I had and
Okay.
everything. It's not that people don't want management.
Hmm.
It's more that they're not ready for it. You have
Okay.
to have a certain mindset to actually accept management
Hmm.
because essentially management is okay, you have to be here at this time and I'm going to make sure you're there. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you to be up at this time, you got to be there. If I'm calling you at midnight because you didn't sign something, I need you to get up right now and sign it, not wait until you feel like getting up and sign it. So people have to actually want to be managed before
Mm-hmm.
they can actually be managed. She not ready.
He said, I will not be
Now,
mad.
now listen. I'll make sure that she doesn't sign a bogus contract.
Okay.
I'll stand
Okay.
up and I'll make sure that everything is in line. And if people ask who's your management, she'll point to me.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
outside of that,
Then.
yeah, she's pretty much doing all
It's
that.
like management to a certain degree.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like
I
a
got
certain
you.
degree.
Of
It's
course.
that
Mhm.
That makes sense. I'm
Because
gonna.
then I can always go back and say, well, you booked that show. I didn't book it. I didn't say
I promise
Okay.
Naomi, I was not trying to start anything.
She was. Yes, she no. But okay. So we talked heavily about your entertainment background. Your talent is amazing. Like I said, I got worn out just talking about it. I think I'm still sleepy. But how in the world did you go from that to what you're doing now? How did you get to Smithsonian? What the world?
Okay, so that's actually easy for me. Basically,
Oh, okay, easy for me.
yeah, it is.
Hmm.
Basically, when we decide to move,
Okay.
um, we came down here and I made everything about her. I said, I'm not doing no club promoting. I'm not doing anything. We're gonna focus on you and getting you up and going and getting you out here in the scene, and we're just gonna focus on you.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't get out here to try to meet people. I didn't, you know how we are from Chicago. I mean, we'll go in a room and just sit there and look at everybody till we figure out who we can talk
Right.
to and
Amen.
watch the room. And that's pretty much what I did. And I let her be the social butterfly and do all of that. And I'm
Hmm.
not saying I let her like, what I'm saying, I control her or nothing like that, but it was just it's her time, you
He's
know.
like, let
I
me
give
make
you
it
the
straight.
chance.
Hey, disclaimers. Gotta put them disclaimers out there. So so yeah, I mean I pretty much she got out there, she was the social butterfly. So after she got on, she just started getting worried about me.
Mhm.
And she's like, you're not doing nothing that you like to do. And she was like, I don't want you to get lost. And whole time I'm still doing what I've always done since I was a teenager, collecting shoes.
Okay.
That was my
Okay.
thing. Like I'm a shoe connoisseur. For every shoe there's a hat. Um, I shop like crazy. I love clothes. And so basically, when she got the opportunity to speak to the kids and everything, for the Smithsonian, about making head wraps and everything, she brought me up. The
Okay.
lady was like, She was like, that's interesting. And
Ooh.
she brought me in and she had me come in and talk to the kids and everything about sneakers. So they brought us in, and um, pretty much I had a class, I had a Saturday class, and I talked to the kids about collecting sneakers. Now, here's the thing, and it's messed up, but it's not at the same time.
Hmm.
Us as black folks, we shame people for buying gym shoes at a certain age.
Mhm.
And that actually shouldn't be. Now, if you just buying them to wear them out and all of that, okay, I get it.
Right.
But it's so much money valued in sneakers at this time in this day and age that it's
Right.
like, in unless you're actually in it, you don't know. You know.
Mhm.
So I'm talking to the kids about it, and I'm telling them like, hey, you see them $200 shoes that your mom's bought for you? You make sure you keep them clean
Yeah.
because
Right.
in about 3 to 4 years, they're gonna be worth more than that $200.
Mhm.
And there's always a resale,
The
and
value.
not just resale, right? And not just resale in America. You can resell overseas.
Mhm.
The good thing about overseas, they like worn out shoes. Don't
Okay.
ask me
Hmm. I didn't
why.
know that.
Right.
Okay.
Because they look at it for the nostalgia.
Hmm.
We look at it for what it looked like up front, but
Okay.
they
Right.
look at it for the nostalgia. So, I told them, I was like, watch out for that. But then I also talked to them about stocks. You know, when I was a
Hmm.
kid, nobody talked to me about stocks.
Mhm.
When I was a teenager in high school
Yeah,
and
me neither.
everything. And
Yeah.
I told them, I'm like, did you know that you can buy shares in Nike and make money? After you have so many shares in Nike
Mhm.
that they give you free pairs of shoes throughout the year. Like,
That is
and then I
shit.
told him I was like, right. I told him I was like, I even brought up there was a kid actually in Detroit that his mom bought him shares in Nike.
Hmm.
He kept building on it, and before he graduated high school, he was sitting on a nice little nest egg.
Like $50,000 or
Like
something like
he had
that.
like $50,000 if he sold
Wow.
and everything,
Hmm.
you know. But every year for his school year in high school, they were sending him shoes,
Wow.
Wow.
you know. And I'm like, you don't always necessarily have to spend all
Yeah.
your money on these shoes,
Right.
but if you
Hmm.
just take a second and say, you know what, ain't no shoes come out this month that I like. I'm gonna take this money that I would have spent and buy this stock
Wow.
and let it build up from there. You know. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
take that
talked to him
knowledge.
about this.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah.
And our
So
kids,
just
they need that. They need that knowledge and that background.
hmm
Even when they go
hmm
off to college, they can share it with their friends and peers, and
hmm
share it with their kids.
hmm
Right.
You know,
Awesome.
I got a cousin down here, and I brought him with me to speak because he has a shoelace company,
Hmm.
and he started, out of college. He got out of college. He was like, it was something he wanted to do or whatever. He was trying to figure out a way to break into the sneaker industry, and him and a couple of his buddies from school, they started a shoelace company. Lo and behold, a lot of them shoelaces got sold to Nike.
Mm.
Huh.
You know,
That.
and so he was doing shoelaces for LeBron. He was doing shoelaces for Kyrie. And he did shoelaces for there was a pair of Nikes that what is their name? The it was some rap artist or whatever. Mm-mm. It was some rap artists, but he had did some shoelaces for them, and that's how he started getting put on.
Okay.
And he talked to him about that, and their eyes got all big, and they was like, "Oh my God!" It's like I can really do that. And he's like, "Yeah." And he was like, it got to a point where he was in college where he couldn't even afford to buy the shoes he wanted,
Mm.
and then he started looking back in his closet and was like, "Okay, what can I sell?" And that's how
Wow.
he got his start with it. So yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
it's just the knowledge,
In.
What you
huh?
say, Evelyn?
I hope some young folks are listening into this.
For
Oh yeah,
real.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, like them parents that get them shoes when they babies, hold
Mm.
on to the shoes.
Yeah.
Don't be just giving them away.
Oh.
Don't do that.
Hold on to the baby
Oops.
shoes.
Oops.
It's
Like
true.
my babies ain't
Seriously.
no babies no more. No, my daughter,
Like,
she's like really big with the shoes, but I mean, I'm a shoe person, but she's a different kind of shoe person. She's the
mm-hmm,
one that likes the special, the special sneakers, the special shoelaces. She likes all the unique styles and things. So I'm like,
mm-hmm,
okay. I mean, I gotta search for her stuff.
Mm.
So I could see the market definitely for it. I don't know
mm-hmm.
about that stuff. So maybe I need to tell her, hey, don't. Actually, I don't have to tell her nothing because she won't get rid of her stuff. She got a whole shelf full of shoes. I'm like, girl, you can't fit none of them shoes. But okay, so now we can.
Yeah, share
Right,
the.
I be like, I need you to talk to somebody about these shoes right here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, because the thing is, like, I tell folks, you know, it really don't make no sense to buy shoes just to just let them sit, because you got these people that just, I don't know. They just do it for the money. They're not really in it because they part of the culture and nothing like that.
Hmm.
Um, Prime example, we were there for All Star Weekend in Chicago, and
Okay.
the Off White Jordan Fives
Oh,
came out,
yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I should be able to get a pair because we in Chicago. Like, this is where all the Jordans are gonna be at anyway, right? So get downtown, and I see this white lady coming out of Foot Locker downtown. She got 6 bags in her hand. And I'm like, I know damn well you're not gonna wear none of these shoes. Who are these shoes for? And and before she even got in her car, she gave somebody a card and said, check my website.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
Well
So
then.
that tells you a lot right
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. I'm talking about white lady had on a trench coat like she was getting ready to go to somebody's law office.
Mm.
Wow. That's deep because I do remember going to like the All Star games, United Center, and it was a big old thing where they're getting the all white ones, and they were getting a special. this Gucci, Burberry, and all this stuff. It was like big old business. All of my cousins had their fancy, you know. I never dressed that way, so it's like, okay,
It's a thing.
hey, you want these Gucci's? You want these Gucci's? But why? I won't wear them.
So yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. But that's kind of what transitioned me into looking into fashion more.
Okay.
Um,
So okay, so but what brought you into it, Naomi? I mean, I understand that you guys are together, but you're doing something totally different.
Vegan and foraging.
So with my accessory line, I started my accessory line back in 2013 on the first night of Kwanzaa.
What's so pretty?
And I started off making like earrings and necklaces and rings. Um, this is some of my work I'm wearing. I wear it regularly.
Okay.
I started making copper jewelry about 2017, and I found my niche there. I found my strength there because it allowed me to be more free flowing, and it helped sharpen my skill. So much so, I was referred to work with Beyonce's designer, Deviant Levy. If
Whoa.
you've seen Black is King, she
Okay.
is two people that worked in tandem. Tamika Murphy and Brittany of Deviant Levy. They did the white look,
Mhm.
where it's the funeral scene. They
Mhm.
designed that
Yeah.
into their look.
I saw that thing 3 times. I know exactly what you're
I
talking
love that. I love that movie. I actually want to watch it again. But that
about. Let
was
the
the
kids come in and
caliber.
watch it. I was like, learn.
That was the caliber where my skill had taken me, and it was just all I get my inspirations from some of everywhere. My
Okay.
earrings reflect more of the culture. I like funky jewelry. I like things that make you remember something from back in the day. I like things that reflect Black women. I'm unapologetic about that. I've even made some things for the Latinx community. I made some Selena themed stuff. I did a short run of that because I struggled with
relating.
no, what's wrong with that? Don't do that. I struggle with cultural appreciation versus appropriation because I know I would have walked
Ah.
away if I seen somebody doing a Cecily Tyson. I'm just saying her because she's recently transitioned. If I seen somebody doing a Cecily Tyson tribute and they weren't from the culture. So even though that run of Selena stuff I made was successful, it was a one and done for me because again
Hmm.
Respect.
I didn't want to come across as being disrespectful and capitalistic. So
Okay. I respect
where I
that.
found my footing in fashion, it was just how I express myself, how I dress. My personal style is very Afrocentric yet throwback. Like I like things that make me feel like the roundaway girl that I am. Like that if
Okay.
if I had a personal playlist of what would describe me,
Mhm.
the first song would be Roundaway Girl by LL Cool J. My second song would be Brown Skin Lady by Black Star, most definitely Talib Kweli. And the third song would be what is it? Is it Miss Happiness or something like that?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But it's just the feeling that I get from those songs. It speaks to the culture for me. It's just every
Okay.
time I hear those songs, it takes me back to being little, or it takes me back to being womanly. Like it just evokes the culture to me. So usually when I'm making things, because I consider my piece to be wearable art, because it is haute couture. So the difference between couture and haute couture is I'm making it and it's just specifically for something.
Okay.
Couture is if a person comes to me, which is a lot of what my work is. That particular line is called copper couture. So people will come to me and say, "Hey, I'm feeling like this," or "Do you have this particular stone? I want to go here, or I want to wear it here, or this for this person." So I'll do a consultation to find out what the vibe is, to be able to make it specifically to that person and match the energy of what they asking me for. So in doing so, it's taken me so very, very far. And people, I've gotten such a rapport with people, even if they're a first time customer. When I show them my work, they say, "I trust you. Just go for it." And I always get, I'm astounded when they say it. It tickles me. They're like, it does. They're like, "You know what? You look like you know what you're doing. I know it's gonna be fly when you get done. Just do it. Just have fun. Just go for it." And I surprise myself with every piece that I make. I'm not tooting my horn, but I'm tooting my horn. My stuff is like you won't find it anywhere else.
Listen, I knew
Oh,
it was
okay.
real. I knew it was real when we was at a pop up shop
Okay.
that you set up, at a pop up,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy came up to her and said, "I want you to make my wife's wedding ring."
Whoa.
Oh, that's special. That's very
And
special.
she made like I helped her pick out the stone. Gotta toot my horn on that one. I helped her pick out the stone and everything, but the way she wrapped it and put it together, mm-mm. Like
Mm.
he said that when he put it on her finger, she cried.
Aww.
So yeah,
Me and
that
Evelyn.
was the ring that they got married to at the altar, and she made it.
See,
Oh,
the great
wow.
is unique anyway. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. That's
so Naomi,
amazing.
I noticed that you lit up when you started talking about your art, your jewelry, and things like that. So, what do you like doing the most, singing or doing your jewelry and your head wraps and things?
Didn't you hear in the beginning? She liked to do everything.
Exactly. Woman after my own heart.
That really touches your soul doing the jewelry and things because I think for jewelry it like with the wedding ring it holds more value and it's more sentimental but at the same time singing can give you that sense of joy you know and ownership because that's what I was asking Naomi what do you like more.
Honestly, I like opportunities where I can intermingle them all. Like when I did the mayor's ball, it was so funny how everything came about. I literally felt like Cinderella because at the fashion show where I was featured with Beyonce's designers, I met the another black designer who made the dress that I wore to the mayoral ball, and she helped me get completely dressed. I did not know what I was wearing. I just saw some of her stuff. She did lots of tulle, lots of sequin dresses, and she made them plus size friendly. So I asked her, I said, "I know you don't know me from a can of paint, but I'm going to ask you a huge ask. If you say no, that's fine. But I'm singing at the mayor's ball next week, and I need a dress. I haven't been able to find a dress. I love your work. Can I wear one? Can I borrow one of your dresses?" So she said, "Absolutely, come to my studio and I'll hook you up." And hook me up, she did. I tried on like several dresses. The dress that I wore wasn't even the dress that I saw. I saw a different
Oh.
dress. It reminded me of a very theatrical, like a curtain closing type of thing. I said, "Ooh, I like that. It's pretty." And she pulled out a whole different dress for me. And it was the dress. And when I walked into the mayor's ball, I already had a head wrap that matched the dress. Never seen a dress in my life. I had a head wrap for the dress. I made my own jewelry. I actually wore this crystal to the ball that matched the dress. The only thing that I had to get, I even had a purse already for the dress. Never seen the dress. I just had to buy shoes.
All perfect.
I just had to buy shoes. She hooked me up with one of her personal makeup artists because she owns She owns seven different fashion lines that are all hers. And she's very, very big in Germany. She does like couture tutus,
Okay.
and they
Oh,
love them. For she started a whole fashion trend in Germany while she was there with her husband, because her husband is military. And she just made sure that I had everything that I needed. When I walked into the mayor's ball, I felt like the belle of the ball because I'm wearing this beautiful, stunning haute couture dress. I'm wearing my own accessories that I made, and it was just like at that moment I got to be the girl that I dreamed about being when I was sitting in the window in the Westline Projects in Milwaukee. Like I used to sit in the window and just dream about being something other than what I was. And at that moment, I was self
hmm.
actualized. Like, I'm getting accolades for being great. And it's not because I had to talk myself up, it's not that I had to pump myself up. People actually saw me and saw the God in me. And I
There you
got to have
go.
my best friend by my side, like calming me down because I was such a
Oh,
nerve-wracking night. Like I didn't want to eat too much. I went on a dairy fast. I'm from Wisconsin. I love cheese and milk and everything dairy. So I had to make sure my voice was in pristine shape. I had went to my vocal coach who saved my voice through Dreamgirls because I was doing 3 shows
Oh,
a weekend for a month and a half, and that's hard. So I was able to still
yeah.
have my speaking voice, let alone my singing voice when I got done.
Right.
So that moment, that intersection of that's why I just stopped calling myself this resume of things. I'm a creative because the umbrella of being a creative is so many different things. And when I get to saying, like, I really used to have a hard time socially because I am socially awkward. As bubbly as I can be, I'm very socially awkward. So I'll have, met somebody. They're like, hey, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I feel like that girl from Coming to America. I'm a singer and I'm an actress and I'm a dancer. And I was like, stop doing that. So when the person walked off, I would just be cringing to myself, like, wow, you really just did that.
But you know what? But saying that you're a creative, that's really just an interest anyway.
yeah.
That's like, well, what do you mean by that?
Hmm.
What does that mean?
Right.
Right? So it's just, I mean, it's like saying it without saying it. I'm a
Yes.
creative. Really? Now you got
Yep.
them to ask you. Well, what does
And
that
I
mean?
found that out. And it works so
Hmm.
much better because if they're interested, they're going to ask. But what God usually does to me is I don't even have to anymore. Like I kid you not, Dream Girls had happened. It was over. Dream Girls was September to the beginning of August to the middle of September in 2019. I
Okay.
was in a bar and I was going to a friend's album release party. She had at a bar. I wasn't in there. I wasn't dressed a certain kind of way. I was regular schmegular. A lily white woman ran up to me and made a
Oh,
scene.
boy.
I wasn't this. I wasn't even on time. I'm usually notoriously late for stuff. But I wasn't on time to the thing. I wasn't trying to be fashionably late. I was just like, ooh, let me hurry up. I want my friend to think I didn't care enough to show up. This lady runs up from across the bar to me as I'm walking in. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're Effie White. You're Effie White. And I was like, I wanted to
Yeah.
just shrivel up in a ball.
She was in somebody
I
else's.
was in my city. And I was like, I did this is it. I'm at home. I don't be out here. I don't really try to be seen in the social thing. I like to hang out. I like to socialize, but I'm not a social climber like that. And it never fails, no matter where I go. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it always happens out of the blue. Grocery store. There was a girl that he can attest to this. I was just going to the self checkout. This college girl. Oh my God, I love you. And I was like,
Look like
I'm sorry. I'm fangirling right now. I am fangirling, but girl, I love you. You see you at the poetry spot. Girl, you be doing your thing. And I was like, thank you. And all the white people were around me because we live like on the white side of town. The white people was looking at me like, who are you? And why is she so excited to see you? Like, but in spite of that, I'm still, I have a small town mentality about maintaining humility because no matter how great I am, I'm not great on my own reconnaissance. I'm great because God made me great. And I was just raised to be humble because as much as you can be proud, you can even brag on yourself, but brag on God first because
Right.
He's the
I
one
know
that
that's
gave it
right.
to you. Because just as quickly as He's giving it to you, He'll snatch it
Right.
all back.
Take it away.
And He'll snatch the ball. When God snatched it, He snatched the edge. And I like my edges. I don't lay them down, but I don't want to be balled out here in these streets having a hardy spirit. I don't do that. Ashy. Don't nobody like to be ashy. Don't be ashy. That's ashy behavior.
That's the first.
Jesus. Oh my God.
So edges and don't be out there ashy. I gotta learn
Don't,
something.
Okay.
don't listen. That should be the thing in 2021. 2020 already snatched a lot of people edges and they starting to grow back. I'm just saying, 2020 snatched a lot of people's edges. He humbled the whole world at once. Don't y'all no learn from what part of they said? Learn from this. Learn from this.
My cheeks hurt. Oh my goodness. You
yeah.
guys are amazing. I'm
So
just
I
so.
mean, from her 2019, I guess she started thinking about me,
Don't
and
say it like that.
after her run and everything,
I was
she
thinking about you before
Like,
your
and then,
listen, she started thinking about me, and then the mayor's ball and everything, because that was in January 2020.
wait, you just gonna breeze past the fact that you was at
Hold
every
on,
single show?
yeah, I was at every single show, and I made a lot of people upset behind it because a lot of folks ain't never seen somebody actually have support, you know, and
Hmm.
it's genuine, So I was literally I was at every show, and I sold out just about every show because I sold tickets. So you know, but she decided to surprise me with a fashion show for my birthday.
oh,
So I'm like, she's telling me, all along in December, she's like, oh yeah, she was like, there's a fashion show that's on your birthday, and um, first she's just talking about how she wants to be in it, and she's trying to gauge ideas from me for what she could do. So I'm just throwing different stuff out there and everything. She tells me 2.5 weeks beforehand, oh yeah, babe, so we are doing the fashion show. We are doing the fashion show. What do you mean? She's like, come on, babe. Let's put some of your designs to work and let's do that. And then oh my God. I'm like, I need more time. Like, what? Who's gonna do the sewing? Who's gonna do like now I'm freaking out because I ain't never like shared my fashion sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, let's just put it together. Let's put it together and let's see what happens. So I'm brainstorming, and I guess the theme was music, and so music and leather
Okay.
is what
Well.
it
music and love. Well, they do go together.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. so, um, so I put together this leather jacket. It was a leather biker jacket, and it had a train to it, had a leather train to it. Um, we put lace on it. I'm about feel and flow. and she sewed it together the way that I designed it in my head and how I wrote it, how I drew it,
Hmm.
and on my birthday we got to showcase it. We had a
Wow.
model. The model walked
Awesome.
with it. We had a dope model.
Plus size. We had all plus size models
Yeah.
because we plus size people.
Okay. Okay.
She wore
I
it.
always wonder what exactly plus size is. I don't. I feel like it changes. I remember Tyra Banks saying she was plus size and she was size 6. What is plus size really?
It's plus
Look,
size traditionally size 12,
Uh,
12 and up.
tradition.
Oh.
Traditionally, but the average woman wears a size 16.
okay.
So
Oh.
I kind of yo-yo between a
I am plus
22
size.
and an 18. Depending on what's good, is it barbecue season? Is Thanksgiving coming up? Look,
Okay.
the potato salad, you know.
I know that's right.
I mean,
You play about
uh,
the potato salad.
right. So then I was able to go ahead and transition into actually showing off my designs. I had already had designs in mind for my own clothing line, which is Fat Boy Fresh. Will be out this year. It'll be out
Fat
this
boy
Don't be
fresh.
thinking they don't ask for it.
year. Right. It'll be out
Wait,
this
wait,
year.
wait, wait, wait. Spell it out.
F as in Frank, A T as in Tom, BOI Fresh.
Oh,
Oh,
be
yeah.
okay. Okay.
That's why I said spell it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have us looking for. I can't find it. You said it. I can't find it. That's what you
So,
said, right?
right. So, I got that coming now, and it got me into um, styling folks. I got a couple of people that I style. Um, they'd always looked at me and be like, "Dude, you be fresh." And I'm like, "Well, okay, so you want to be fresh like me?" So yeah,
Okay.
and
Do you
they
just
call
style
it.
locals, or does it matter where they're located?
No, it does not.
Okay.
As long as you got the dollar to pay for your clothes,
No, that's
I
right.
can style you. I can style you. I can find what's going to fit, what's going to look well, what's going to represent you.
Mm-hmm.
They call me the color scheme king. I put colors together very well, from
Okay.
pastel to fall colors to pretty much everything. I put it together. So
Big ant.
Yeah.
Big ant.
Yeah. Big ant. You know what's funny is that people assume that the fashion stuff is a woman's thing, but really men are bigger in the fashion industry than women are. Like,
mhm.
y'all better recognize, like,
I had to
we
do my
got.
research. Literally, I had to do my research because nothing against anybody, but I asked Naomi. I'm like, babe, so am I gonna be looked at as being a certain kind of way? We jumping into this. She's like, no. She's like, such and such do this and such. Well, okay. I was like, I'm just,
But the first thing you said was Ralph Lauren, and I don't because it's complete parallels. But Ralph Lauren is a straight man because the fashion scene is has been hyper for lack of better words, has been hyperventilated to only reflect the LGBTQ community. And it's not to discount their abilities because I
they don't.
mean they don't. I mean look at the ballroom scene. Like come on, they make magic out of nothing. And it's not a battle of sexualities either. It's just
Let it
fashion
in.
is fashion. And
Right.
I love that saying. I
No,
can't
that's right.
remember who came up with it, but fashion is fashion. Is what you interpret, is what you make it. That's why I like the Met Ball. I like watching it from the sense of like honestly, I didn't learn about the Met Ball until maybe like 5 or 7 years ago. I didn't know it was a thing because it's such an exclusive event. But I like watching for themes, like what's the theme this year? How are they gonna take it outside of that? And when we did the fashion show together, Innovate the Runway was pretty much the same thing. They were going with camp, but they were going with music. Like, how can you what do you want to bring to this camp thing? So we said music and leather.
Okay.
So his particular design of the leather and lace, I made a fascinator out of a 45 record, and the young
Oh.
lady was
Me
wearing.
and Evelyn both went.
Oh, I'll send you pictures. I'll send you pictures.
How you gonna do that? It's so good. And then literally the 2 hour horns, we stole the show.
Wow.
Okay.
When they saw her shredding down the runway and she had on the liquid leather leggings and her moto jacket that we fashioned into like an award show look. Everybody was like, yo, how? And can I have that? I said, that's
Can I
one of
buy
mine.
that?
Can I buy that? They said, absolutely. It's going to be $300. They said, whoa, what? Well, you take what you want.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
But that's
Yeah.
we still have it because don't nobody want to pay it. But also, it's still available to people like it.
I ain't marketed it. That's all.
That's it. I mean, it's one of those things that you just like, I can't believe we made this magic and I want to hold on to it.
I bet you if
That's
you went
beautiful.
out now, somebody will try to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can take pictures in it first and then I let it go.
And I've heard that so
Well,
many times, not just from her, but her friends and everything else. Like, yeah, so before you sell it, let me take pictures in it first.
Right,
I got a photo shoot coming.
right.
speaking of
Hint, hint,
food,
agent.
I just
just
saying,
saying.
You think
let
I
me send you some
that
stuff. Let me send you some stuff.
for you. Thank you. So we definitely went over time, but it was well worth it. That's why I didn't shut it down. I'm just like, yes, please continue. Um, and for those of you that are listening, that are watching, the link to just in case y'all weren't paying attention because y'all do that sometimes. To say that accessories, the the link to that is on the name. So when you're the same place you went to click on the show, if you click on their name, that is the link to the site. So you can go there. And I put their information, all of their social media handles. I have been flashing throughout the entire show. You understand? Y'all have no excuse. None whatsoever. You see all of this? You
None.
see all of this? Y'all worse than me. Look, look. I don't even have a TikTok. Okay.
Look, when we're done, we are gonna be Black History. That's it.
Boom. You are Black History. Ain't no you gonna be. You are.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Got me all excited and stuff. We going my friends gonna be mad at me like, Asia, you're doing too much in the first place. I'm like, no, you didn't meet them. I have more to do. So,
Now
but
look, we're changing that narrative because we're always telling somebody they're doing too much. You retort, you're not doing enough.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Say
You are
that
not
just like
doing
you
enough.
said. Say that accessory. You said that.
Right. That part.
I know you guys are awesome. I enjoy you both.
Thank
Thank
Dude,
you.
thank you
you.
so
So
much.
laid back and just yeah, we just
I know. They're
did a
so
magical.
modest. Like,
Right.
we just, we did this and we did that. It was nice,
We're trying to keep our edges.
Are you all always
Oh,
like this laid back like that? Wow.
I believe it because when we were
Listen,
doing our tech check, they was the same way.
it took everything in me not to pour myself a glass of Boone's Farm because that's my staple drink. That's all I is.
Before you go, I want to show my latest pickup.
Okay.
This is the latest pickup.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you know, and
Nice.
now probably on the wedding shoe, probably about 2 or 3 times because I have over a couple hundred pair of shoes. So,
Hey,
um,
so nobody else say nothing about my shoe
R.I.P. to
collection.
my
That's all I
closet.
gotta say.
so give it. I want to give it probably a year. You look up the Jordan 6 Carmine and look and see what the price is going to be. Um, the 2020 Jordan 6 Carmine. And because right
Okay.
now it just released last week,
Mm-hmm.
and right now it's already up to $350.
Wow.
Nope. Nope. No.
So,
I hope my don't look this show up because I won't. No. Okay. Nope. Love you, but no. Okay. All right, we gotta go. We gotta go. But you guys, just like I said, I have our social media. So just in case you guys didn't know, I do Asia Speak, the 411 blog, and I do them based off of the shows that we do. So yes, I will have their information on the website. I promise. I promise. I do it every weekend. Give me just a little extra time this weekend because I have a photo shoot. I said this. Um, so if you go to HJamal.com, I will have their information. You'll be able to get a hold of them and see all this greatness and pictures
Awesome.
and all the
Awesome.
stuff. And
Thank you for having
and I'm gonna be sporting some stuff too, right?
so,
Right.
Yes.
so
Okay. Okay. So they said it on my show. They said it on my show. Okay. So, all right, everybody, we're gonna go now. Um, Thank you all for hanging with us and spending time with us and experiencing this greatness.
Yeah.
Remember their names and
Mm-hmm.
remember to embrace God's perfect design, which is you. So
Mm-hmm.
next time, Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.
Yes. Although weeping lasted all night, I know that joy comes in the morning light. So I march on to a new song, 'cause I've been marching to that old one way too long. And I gotta move on and take new steps every day, 'cause I know there is got to be